Hey, Andy Webb here from becleverwithyourcash.com. Welcome to my channel, and today I have got another bank account review for you, and it's a relatively new one. It's only been around for maybe around a year or so, but only in the last few months has it become something that people might actually want to take a proper look at, and it is the Virgin Money current account. Now, Virgin Money obviously has been around for a few years now, but what's been going on over the last sort of 12 months or so, it has been merging with Yorkshire Bank and Clydesdale Bank, all under the Virgin Money brand. So we're starting to see them really push it as an account. They're doing things like giving away as a bank switching offer free bottles of wine. They say £180 worth, it's more about 100, but I'll talk about that more in a moment. They're giving interest on the account, better interest than you can get in most other places, although it's not perfect. And they're also kind of marketing it as a kind of digital bank. The idea is, like Starling, like Monzo, you're going to operate it through your phone more so than in the different branches around the country. So I've got the account, I've had it for a few weeks now, played around with the app a little bit, trying to get an idea of what those features are, what it offers. So I'm going to take you through that right now, tell you more about that bank switching offer, that high interest offer as well, to help you work out whether this could be the new bank account for you, how it compares to the likes of Monzo and Starling, which is trying to sort of, say it is part of that kind of challenger kind of account versus the big guys, your Barclays, your Halifax, your Lloyds, all that kind of stuff. Your more traditional account. How does this compare? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you how it arrived. Now, anyone who's had a Starling card already has used this kind of quite high-end thing. I mean, this is a tiny little thing. It's not that important, but it's interesting comparison if it's trying to say it's like Starling and Monzo. This is what you get when you get a Starling card. It's a nice thick card envelope. You open it up and it's quite a nice looking card as well. Yeah, nice colour. Not bad, is it? This is what came from Virgin Money. So a normal old envelope, and then you open it up and there's the card. It is, I haven't obviously used it yet. It's all right. I mean, it's red. What is good about it, like your Starling, like your Monzo, like a lot of these new fintech cards, I'm sure we'll see the other big banks do the same thing, is you can see there's nothing on the front. All the details are here on the back. It's not a massive thing again, but it's a quite nice way you kind of like, you can show your card and you don't have to worry about anyone seeing those details, and it's all there for you. So there you go. So there's the card. It's all right. It's nothing special. It certainly will stand out in your wallet, that bright red. But okay, compared to kind of the packages that you would get from Starling and Monzo, it's not quite as nice. But I don't think that's the be all and end all. At the end of the day, it's just a debit card for you to use. And it is a MasterCard one, so you'll be able to use that pretty much everywhere. There shouldn't be any problems with that. Really though, since Virgin Money is marketing this as a kind of an app-based banking experience to help you budget and all these kind of things, what's important is how it works on the app. Now, I should say what's interesting here is that although at the moment you can't really use it in any of the branches, once that full rebrand has gone along, you're going to have access to, if you need to, all the different Virgin Money bank branches around the UK. Currently ones might be Yorkshire or Clydesdale. I'm sure they consolidate them and they get rid of some of them because they don't need them all. But that is kind of a thing that you don't get with Starling and Monzo. But anyway, the app is the main thing here. So I'll open it up here and kind of take you through some of the features. Now, it has Face ID, which is fantastic. Nice, easy login. You get that again with most banks nowadays. When you open up the account, you will see your different accounts with Virgin. So the current account, and also when you open it, if you want the bank switch offer, which I'll talk about in a bit, you also have to open up one of their savings accounts that's connected, and you'll see both of those on the screen. You'll also see a timeline. Obviously, I haven't really done many transactions right now, but that will bring you all the different accounts on all your accounts, all different transactions, all your accounts on one page in that sort of like date order. But obviously, if you go into the account, you'll see exactly the same thing for that specific account. You can filter it by money in, you filter it by money out, and if there are any repeating standing orders, you can go to that tab, hit that, and it will tell you what ones are due to sort of go out on a regular basis, which can be quite handy. You can search it as well. What it's trying to do here is obviously try and be like a budgeting app, so you can tag transactions as well. So I've done this here. I've got the money that came in when I made my switch over, and you hit that tag, and I can change it if I want to. You've got all these different ones here. There's cash withdrawals, earnings, fuel, groceries, so many different tags, which actually is quite good compared to a lot of the kind of aggregator apps you see out there like Money Dashboard and Yolt and places like that. It can be a bit frustrating that you have to fit between their individual tags. Here, there are loads and loads of different tags, and you can even, if you want to, create your own tag and say what it is. So you really can go into that minutiae if you really want to break things down. Where this becomes useful is on the budgeting tab at the bottom. Now I've had a little play with this. Obviously I've not spent a huge amount of this, so it's a bit tough to say exactly how good it is. But I like the look of it. You go into it and you've got loads and loads of different options. Kids, getting around, services, insurance, groceries again, tech, pets, and if you want to, you can add in how much you want to spend on them, exactly how it's going to be. Then what you can see at the top up here, it puts it against, you can set the budget, how much you want to spend on it. You can kind of see how much you're likely to spend versus your earnings. So at the moment I've said, I've played around with it, nothing serious. I've said I've got a budget of £540. They're my monthly expenses. My income at £500, very clearly telling me here, for some reason it says I'm short by 90 quid. All right, because I put £50 in a pot, a savings pot as well. It's not perfect, but I think if you're struggling for budgeting, it's a nice way of having it on you all the time, setting something potentially quite detailed, but it can be, as I say, a little bit confusing with those different areas, the pots and things. You can look at that by month as well, which is pretty handy. Now I mentioned pots a moment ago. Familiar with what this essentially means. You've got the pots with Monzo. Starling has spaces, all sorts of different places have different names for these things. But you go to that again, back into my savings here. And if you've got that savings account, you have to have a savings account set up for this. You can't do it from the main current account. You can set up different savings pots. You can name them whatever you want. Again, I've just put test here, not the most exciting. But what's quite interesting about this, what I quite like, is you can put in, you say how much you want to put in, and we'll do that here. Edit this pot. So I like to save £200. Your current balance is £1. You can put the date when you want to have it. So I've got March 22. Let's make it, actually I want it by March 21, a year earlier. And I can put away £40 a month. Now it's telling me to put away £40 a month, you have £200 by April 2021. So I'd miss my target. But if I want to get it by the target, it tells me how much I actually need to put aside every single month to reach that target. Put another £10 in, and I would get that amount of money in time. So I like that feature. It tells you exactly how much you need to do to make this happen. And what you can also do with this, which I think is quite good once you've got a pot set up, is you can make those kind of, you can transfer the money over, move that money over from your account to that and set it up as a standing order. That means that money is going to go through to your account every single time that money comes through, and you'll hit that target. You won't forget to move money one month or another. There are all sorts of fantastic AI auto savings apps out there. There are all sorts of things that top up your change and saving challenges. I will talk about all those in our video. They're great. But the classic way, the best way to make sure you reach your savings goals, reach your targets, is to make a direct debit when you get paid to that pot. And you can have loads of different pots here, as many as you want, for loads of different targets, and they will sit there within your savings account. So they will continue to earn interest as well, which is really important. A lot of times savings pots don't earn interest. These ones will. Now, at the time of filming this, the rate is just 0.5%, which doesn't sound great, and it isn't, but compared to everywhere else, it's actually not too bad. So in the short term, I think it's a good place to put your savings, put your money once you've used up some of the better options. Longer term, if better rates come back, then you might want to move them elsewhere. But it's a nice little feature actually. I was quite surprised. This is a good way to kind of help you save and keep track of that saving and make sure that money goes into those saving pots. We've done that, we've done budget. Moving money. One of the big bugbears for me for my main current account was the Nationwide Flex Direct account. Got the review here if you want to check it out. Is that every time you want to set up a new payment where you have to get the card reader out, enter the details, authorize it, and then you can move money to a new person. Hate that so much. Virgin Money don't need to. You put your details in for whoever you want to pay, and bang, you can send the money off straight through, which is great. It's also relatively easy to move money between different accounts you have in Virgin, but moving people elsewhere is really, really easy as well. Now, a few more things to talk about when it comes to the app. The extra kind of features that you get with Starling and Monzo, which are nice little things, the ability to see your PIN, the ability to freeze your card, all that kind of stuff. Does Virgin Money have it? Unfortunately, no. You hit the little three dots at the bottom here, that more option, and you've got all your different things. You can also get to it if you want to via your account, and once you're into your account, the little three dots in the top. It's a bit of playing around with it, but you'll get used to it in no time. If we go into manage your cards, unfortunately, all you can do is report your card lost or stolen or replace a damaged card. So in that sense, it absolutely falls short of what we get from Monzo and Starling, and even normal banks are starting to add in those extra features. At Halifax, for example, you can see your PIN now. So it's a shame that Virgin Money doesn't do this. Some other things that are really some good things to share with you. You can pay in a cheque which is great. Okay, you can do that with Starling, you can do that with Halifax and Lloyds and a few other banks, not many, but if you do get a cheque, then Virgin Money will let you pay it in with your phone, which I think is a good little one. But again, you've already got that with Starling, so it's not necessarily a huge benefit. Now, another good thing I want to share with you from this app is we go into manage alerts. Again, you can get to this from a few different ways. If we go into the account, you've got these things here at the bottom, a few different options. Balance alerts. This is a great one. Sends you a text message if you go below a level that you set. So I've set it at 50 quid, balance below 50 quid. You get a text message, you know you're going to move some money over. Potentially you might have some more direct debits coming through or whatever it might be. Or you can set it a lot higher if you want to. A weekly balance alert, get a text message once a week to tell you how much is in there, which I think is great. And they've also got a high balance alert. Alert me when I've got more than a set amount in my account. Again, this could be a situation where you only want to keep a certain amount in this account. So if it's above that, you want to move it to an account which higher interest rates and so on, whether it's in Virgin or somewhere else. I think that's pretty good. We've also got transaction alerts. So again, every time you spend money, whether it's the card is used over a set amount, whether it's used abroad, or you can use it in different places. So if it's used online, if it's used at a cash machine, use it at a card reader, or if they're input by a retailer, you can get a notification to your phone that this has happened. So some really good security features there. Absolutely, with Starling and Monzo, you get a notification anytime that you use your card, but it's great that you can add those extra filters in. And the final one is something called sweeps. Again, this is designed to stop you going overdrawn, to make sure you've got enough money in your account for the things you need to pay. You can set how much you want that to be. So if you've got, again, less than 50 quid, you want to top it up by 150 quid from your instant savings account. Now, you've got to have money in that account for that to work. But again, it's a nice way of kind of keeping your savings separate out of your main account. But if you need to get them, it moves it over automatically. So actually, there are some nice features with this account. It's not too bad. So that's the app. If you already had a Virgin or a Starling account, or you've checked out my review, then you'll kind of already have an understanding of what you get with those other banks and how this compares. I think there are some really nice features there, security features, the alerts and stuff, the way you can tailor them and personalize them. I think that's really good. I think the budgeting side of it, the fact that you can tag anything you want, is pretty good. I like the fact you can have as many of these pots as you want and still have them in your savings account earning interest. I think a lot of the time, whether this is a better choice for you than Starling or Monzo will just come down to taste. I would probably maybe give them all a try. Get them all, use them for a week or 2 weeks with budgeting, and decide which one gives you the information that's really going to help you track your spending. Because that's the big thing here, that budgeting and tracking of spending. That's one of the big reasons why you'd move away from one of the high street banks to one of these. But it's not just about the app. There are other things that make this quite different, again, to Starling and Monzo. The first one is the interest that you get in the account. Now, this is the big thing that they kind of push in their marketing. You can get 2.02% in the current account, not the linked savings account, which has a lower rate. In that main current account, 2.02% on savings of up to £1,000. Now, that's not a huge amount of money in the scheme of things. It works out over a year of 20 quid. But that's 20 quid more than you're going to get in many other current accounts where the interest is zero. It's 20 quid more than you're going to get from Starling or Monzo. Okay, so in that sense, it is a kind of a better account for your savings, and also the fact, as I said, that 0.5% you get in that linked savings account right now, again, that's more than you're going to get in Starling or Monzo. So you're winning in that sense. Now, I should say both those rates are variable, so they could change at any time. They could go down, they could go up. I think that's unlikely in the current situation, but they could well drop. So it's worth bearing that in mind. But that 2.02% is better than you're going to get on any other kind of easy access current account or savings account right now. So it does win out there. Something else you get with the Virgin Money account is that it's fee-free to use overseas. So that's both in transactions and from the cash machine. Now, that's the same as you get with Starling. Okay, so you already have that with Starling. With Monzo, there is a cap on how much money you can take out of a cash machine, both at home and abroad. So if you are going to use an ATM a lot, wherever you are, then this is obviously better, but it's exactly the same as Starling. So it's not a reason to drop Starling and go for this, but it's useful to know that you've got this straight away. Oh, there's one other thing that I didn't mention as well. They are promising that with a Virgin Money account, you will get access to a number of Virgin-related, Virgin-branded freebies and discounts as well. At the moment, there's a discount on more Virgin wine if you wanted, and there's also discounts available to new Virgin Media customers. Now, I had a look at them, and actually the deals are actually not too bad, but they're not far off the other deals you can normally get. So I wouldn't say it's worth getting this account just to access those other Virgin branded offers. But if you've got it, have a look and then see when you need to switch your broadband or when you want to top up on your wine. See how they compare to other offers out there. I'm sure as time goes on, maybe we'll see things like Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Gyms getting in there as well. But again, they're not that special. The other big thing which you get with this one, which you don't get with Starling and Monzo, and this is an offer which could end at any time, so it depends when you're watching this, they might have changed it, but I think they're in this for the long run. They are giving away £180 worth of Virgin wines when you switch your account over. And by switch, it's a full switch, which means your other account, whoever it's with, you have to close it down completely. But it will move all your direct debits, your standing orders, your money in, your money out, all these kind of payments. They will be moved over for you and they are protected by this current account switching service guarantee. So if something goes wrong, you get that money compensated to you. So it's absolutely fine to do it. Again, if you're not sure about it, I've got a whole video which you can check out. That £180 worth of wine sounds pretty good, right? It's 15 bottles of a mix of red, white and sparkling, plus you get a couple of glasses as well. Now, £180 worth of wine for switching your bank sounds pretty good, doesn't it? It's 15 bottles, a mix of red, white and sparkling. Now, they say it's worth 180 quid. I actually think if you were going to go and get the equivalent ones yourself, either from the supermarket or if you were going to take advantage of special offers and things with Virgin wine, really its value is around 100 to 120 quid, which is still not bad for free wine, isn't it? It's still a kind of a decent option for you. That compares, I think, quite favourably with the cash bonuses that we see from other banks when they offer them. So we've seen, for example, £100 for Lloyds, £125 for NatWest, £125 for HSBC, £100 for Halifax over the last sort of 5 months or so. So it's kind of comparable value to switch over. But obviously the downside is you are getting wine. If you get the money, you can spend that how you want, where you want. And the other thing is, if you're a non-drinker, there is a non-alcoholic option they'll give you, but that's only worth about 80 quid and you've still got to like non-alcoholic wine. So it's a bit of a disappointment in that sense. But put all these different bits together, right? So you've got the 2% interest on your savings. You've got the ability to use your overseas fee-free. You've got this £180 worth, maybe more likely £120 worth of free wine for switching over. And you've got all those sorts of different features on the app. I think actually it's quite a good option to consider, especially when compared to the sort of the legacy banks, the older banks. We know the big guys, Barclays, HSBC, and so on. But also up against Monzo and Starling. No, it's not as cool as Monzo and Starling in any way. It doesn't have that kind of refinement and that kind of edge which makes you feel like there's real innovation here. And there are absolutely some things that are missing, particularly talking about those security features to freeze your card, stop gambling payments, check your PIN, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I think it's not a bad option, and the app's okay. It's not too bad. Again, I've only played with it a little bit. As you saw there, some of the features I haven't really had a chance to really sort of dive into, but it's no worse than any other main banks. And I kind of think, once you get used to it, it would offer you that data that you need. I'm going to actually give it a go for a little while. I'm going to try it out and see how I feel about it as a kind of a more everyday bank. And I'll report back in one of my monthly kind of roundups of the best bank accounts. I'll give you an idea of how I feel about it compared to the likes of Monzo and Starling and so on. Now, if you found this useful, please do hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you've got the Virgin Money account, how it's been for you. Let me know whether you think you're going to switch over from any other bank to Virgin Money. And if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe and notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. And here are a couple more videos you might find interesting.